There we go. Just about to go. Redirecting to YouTube.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everybody who's watching us right now. I have somebody really amazing here with us. It is an amazing guest who actually recently wrote a really interesting book. If you're thinking about leadership, if you're thinking about how to become an effective leader, if you're thinking about learning more and definitely passing on more knowledge, in that case, you have to join us in our discussion with an amazing, and let me just practice this, Sunny Isuekebhor. I hope
Wow.
I said your name in the right way, Sunny.
That's 100%. I give you 100 max, 100 over 100.
Yes. The Monday challenge is done. That's amazing. You know, Sunny, I'm so grateful you are here, and thank you so very much for joining today this live to actually share with people more about your book. How are you today?
I'm doing fine. And you?
I'm really good. I'm really good. I actually know that you are not based in UK. You are based all the way in Nigeria. Is it right?
Yeah. The world's most populous black country, Nigeria, in the heart of West Africa. That's where I am.
That is fascinating. And what is the weather there right now? Is it sunny? Is it cold? What's the temperatures like now?
Okay, weather is a little cloudy as we speak. Before we started getting live, it was sunny. It's actually quite sunny in my part of Nigeria, which is called the Niger Delta region, but it is the region with the most unpredictable weather because of constant rainfall. So in other parts of Nigeria, we have dry seasons, the wet seasons come, but in the Niger Delta, you could be in the heart of the dry season and suddenly it's cloudy and it's raining. So this is where I am, Niger Delta, Nigeria. So now to speak, it's cloudy, and in about an hour, less than an hour, it could become really sunny. Like my name says, sunny.
That's right. Actually, I'm so jealous of your name. It's a beautiful name. Did your parents call you Sunny because they conceived you on a sunny day, or you were born on a sunny day? What's the history of your name?
Okay. The story my mom told me was that I was born on a Saturday. Then she had to stay in the hospital for 24 hours so doctors could check she was okay and I was doing good. And so she brought me home on a bright Sunday afternoon. It was quite sunny. So she thought, why not? This boy is so sunny. Let's call him Sunny. So that is how she gave me the name Sunny, because I was brought home on a Sunday and it was a sunny Sunday. Yeah.
I love it. This is so fascinating. I mean, I love learning about names, and I think name is such an important thing in everybody's life.
Yeah.
And I also know when
Yeah.
you change your name, you also change your destiny. It's almost like
Mm,
when you gain new knowledge, you change your
yeah.
destiny as well. And I
Mm.
really wonder how your name, is there any connection between your name and what you do right now in your life? Because I mean, with a name like Sunny, I would imagine probably you're like that, sun ray. You're like somebody who is bringing so much joy and blissfulness in everybody's life. Is it so?
Yeah, I do my best. I am somebody that's quite impactful. I can stand, before people or chat with people one-on-one, and I leave them with really big impact. I have a very imposing personality, and we are talking in a live studio now, but if you have me in person, face to face, you will discover that my baritone is one in a million. My voice is very commanding, even if I don't make any effort to be commanding. So when I speak, I leave audiences mouth agape. I leave them sunny. I bring in the sun. So you can call me Sunny Sun. So I talk with people a lot, personal interactions, one-on-one, or video meetings, video conferences, or speaking in the public space. And I really have such an impact on people that most of the time when I appear in a show, at an event, or when I'm speaking in a church conference, when I'm done, I'm instantly booked again for another event because of the impact I have. I have done my observation since the time I began speaking. I say 90% of the time, when I'm done, I'm booked again for another event. That's how much of an impact I have on the people that listen to me. and the organizers of the events where I speak. So you are right. My name is Sunny. It's really doing its bit in my life. Yeah.
Wow, I love that. You know, Sunny, I'll be honest, the way how you speak and the positivity you bring out right now, and we haven't even went into your book, and I'm sure it's so fascinating. You remind
Yeah.
me of one of my favorite speakers, Les Brown, because
Wow.
every time I hear to him, I'm thinking, wow, what an energy ball. And he is, you know, he is funny and he is deep and he is challenging. And you really remind me of him because the way how you speak right now is just remarkable. And I think it's really important to actually make such an important change, such an important
Mm,
impact that people rebook
mm,
you straight away. This is the
yeah.
best compliment a speaker can
Mm,
have, isn't it?
yeah. Thank you so much. I know Les Brown. I've listened to him too, and it's a speaker that if you are in the audience and you listen to him, it gets you into action. As a matter of fact, sometimes you wish that really just take a break, give you an hour, so you could do something with your life because it says so much that you can do, so much that you've left undone, and you're wondering, oh, I need to get busy, I need to get busy. So you can't wait for him to finish speaking so you can go and implement the things that he shares with the audience. Powerful speaker, Les Brown.
That is so true. This is so true. But I wonder, apart of Les Brown, is there any person who actually impacted your life in such powerful way that it resulted you becoming a speaker, it resulted you writing your book on leadership? And I'm dying to hear all about that. Is there anything,
Okay.
anybody else who impacted your life in a massive way? So maybe we can share with our listeners and they can learn
Oh, oh,
from
oh,
them.
beautiful. Yeah. One of those who really impacted me growing up was Dr. Miles Monroe, a wonderful speaker from the beautiful country of the Bahamas. He usually said the Bahamas was the most beautiful country in the world, and that it was that country that is the residence from God, that God lived in by the Bahamas. So he impacted me really deeply because I didn't think about speaking at corporate circles until I listened to Dr. Miles because I'm a young preacher. I preached or started preaching at 17. So mainly I preach in churches, I got invitations, preaching churches, church conferences, youth gatherings, adult occasions in the church and within the church. And then I listened to Dr. Miles Morrow and
That is wonderful. What we will have to do, oh, I think we are losing you a little bit, Sunny.
I'm blown away that is an effective. I really picked it from there. I said, I could be like it. Yeah.
I think,
Started
Sunny,
thinking,
I
okay, please.
think we missed a little bit because probably the network was a bit tricky. I mean, what a surprise, right? We are speaking right now with Nigeria, right? So it's not surprising that the network issues will be there because I'm all the way in UK, you're all the way in Nigeria. So after
Yeah.
that speaker, Dr.
Miles Morrow.
Yeah. Whom else did you mention?
Okay. After Dr. Miles Morrow, I was also impressed a lot by Nelson Mandela,
Yeah.
probably the greatest African of all time, So I listened to him speak and his correlation, his coordination, the choice of words, the timing of his words, the power of his personality, his integrity. I was blown away. So Nelson Mandela really was a man that impacted me. Just one sentence, and I'm thinking about 1,000 sentences just because of that one sentence. So that was another person that had a tremendous impact on me as a keynote speaker.
Love it. And I agree with you. And I must say that he's the greatest example of
Mm,
person who spent so many years preparing himself for a big role. And it's something
mm,
what we all can learn from. You know, how to
I
use
agree.
any opportunity or any situation and make it as an opportunity for something bigger and greater. So I could
Mm.
not agree any less with you. So if we go into your book about leadership,
Okay.
can you hear me?
Okay. I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, probably we'll have to double check a few times. But if we go into your book, into discussion about your book, I'm so excited to
Okay.
hear, because leadership, especially during the nowadays situation with the
Mm.
lockdown, with the situation what happens in America and everywhere else,
Yeah.
people need a strong leadership. People need
Yes.
somebody who will wise leader, because we have many leaders who unfortunately are not that wise as people would
Mm.
want them to be. And
Yeah.
what happens in the world is quite a messy situation. So what
Mm.
do you think like leaders need to have within themselves, within their stamina, in order to be a true leader?
Okay. That is a very, very beautiful question because it is something that I've been thinking about for a good while. Because people ask me, why did you write turning every leader into a star? And I tell them, I wrote the book because I was tired. And they say, really? You were tired? I said, yeah, I was tired. I was tired of a number of things. I was tired of politicians taking advantage of us, we the people. A politician appears on the scene, he promises to do 20 things within a 4-year tenure. He runs for office, he grabs our votes, he sits in that chair, delivers none of his promises, comes back to us again, and we vote for them again. I was tired of politicians. I was tired of us citizens. I was also tired of my fellow leadership experts, some of my fellowship leadership experts who wrote a book as though every reader and every leader has a PhD in leadership. So people read the books about leadership, and when they were done, rather than thinking about how to lead, they found themselves thinking about definitions
Yeah.
in the books.
Yeah.
So I was tired of that. I was also tired of the fact that many people who seek to lead us in the world are too clueless about leadership. So that is why you see, for instance, a politician runs for office, and then once he or she wins, they know not what to do, because all of their efforts, all of their energies, all of their focus was about winning an election. It was not about getting an opportunity, a platform to lead. So once they get that position, they do nothing. Why? Because their goal is met. I like football. I'm a Chelsea fan. I like Chelsea. So when you are a footballer and you want to score a goal, you put all of your efforts, you score the goal, it's done. You have nothing else to do but to think about another goal. That is why you see the politicians, they think about the next election. So if you hear them discussing in their inner circle, you will be amazed. They are planning for the next election, not about how to lead the people who voted for them.
Yeah.
So I was tired of saying that. So I was tired of people portraying leadership as something for a select few, because I defy the notion that only a few can lead, because all of us
Mm.
have calling to lead in different aspects of life. The more leadership we have, the more people we have in leadership, the more we're able to get more people in the world to see themselves as leaders, the better our world will become.
Yeah.
That is why in my book, I give clues about leadership, because I see that leadership has been portrayed as something really complicated. And you see that even in our curriculums in schools, I did my master's degree program at the University of Liverpool, beautiful school in Liverpool, England. I did my master's degree program at the University of Liverpool, England. I did my bachelor's degree before that in one of the best universities in Nigeria. And I went to high school. And then you will discover that
Yeah.
in the curriculum in elementary school or primary schools, there is no teaching about leadership of any kind.
Mm.
And then in high schools or secondary schools, there is nothing about leadership being taught.
Yeah.
So the brightest and fastest learners in the human race are not being taught anything about leadership, yet We complain that the biggest problem in the world is poor leadership. The fastest learners, we don't teach them leadership. And then when you go for your first degree, you will be shocked that almost everywhere in the world, you're pursuing a mechanical engineering. Like I did mechanical engineering for 5 years. And in 5 years, there was not a single course on leadership. We studied mechanical engineering, we did calculations, we did drawings, and then we graduated, got jobs, and instantly became leaders, supervisors of technicians and artisans. We never learned anything about leadership. Now we have to lead. And then when you go for a master's degree program, like I said, I did my master's degree program at the beautiful University of Liverpool in the United Kingdom. I studied project management for my master's program, and I specialized in energy and other renewable energy resources. And then in our program, we studied leadership in a module, a single module. It was a topic, a subject within the module, competing with other subjects within that module. We did 8 modules, not one module was dedicated to leadership only. To get to study leadership on its own, you have to pursue a PhD, Olga. You have to go get a PhD to study leadership. So I was tired of the designers of our curriculums who said children can't learn about leadership, who said a single mother who has only a high school or secondary school certificate cannot learn about leadership. So I was tired of the way curriculums were designed. So that is why in my book, I teach about leadership in simple but yet profound ways. I show simple clues. For instance, let's do an exercise, Olga and me, and those of you watching in the audience, you can join us in the exercise. Raise your your hand, Olga. Raise your hand.
Okay.
Just one of your hands. Okay. There are 5 fingers there. Try touching every finger with the thumb. Use the thumb to touch all of your fingers.
Yeah.
Quite easy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, with any finger of your choice, try touching all of the other 4 fingers. With any other finger beyond the thumb.
It's tricky.
How hard is that? Very hard.
There we go.
Thumb,
really hard.
very hard. The thumb can touch all of the fingers with ease, but all of the other fingers cannot touch the thumb unless they struggle and scratch and burn.
Yeah.
Then if you have to pick up a gallon of water, let's say a 5 liter gallon of water, if you have to pick it up, try picking it up with your thumb only. You can stay there all night. You can stay there all night. Try picking it up with all of your fingers.
Yeah.
It's a breeze. In a second, you're done.
Yeah.
Why? Our fingers teach us about teamwork. The thumb is great, but it's not that great. It is all of us. It is all of the other fingers. So when you look at your fingers, you see leadership clues all around you. And then let's take another illustration. In my book, there are 26 chapters, and there are 26 pictures, colored pictures. I take the lion, for instance. One of the reasons why people fail in leadership is because they think that being in leadership is about demonstrating power and strength all the time. But go to the lion. The lion is my favorite animal, Olga, my favorite animal. I love that animal. I could watch documentaries of lions for hours and hours when I have the time. So now you see the lion is the king of the jungle, feared by every other animal. But when this very powerful beast is going to go for its meal, it does not go for the strongest animals.
Yeah.
Why? Energy conservation. The fact that I am the strongest in the forest does not mean that when I want to eat, I have to show everyone that I am the strongest, so I have to go after the strongest animal. No. I am strong for a purpose. There is a time for defense of my clan. There is a time for defense of my cubs. I'll use my strength there. But when I want to eat food, I will go after the weakest animals. Why? Why take 50% of my energy to get a meal when I know I have to eat every day? Why take 50% when I can take 5% of my energy, get me a meal, and my cubs and my lady, and we could eat together. So what does that teach us? Leadership is about going after small things continually. Go after something small, achieve it, keep it in the box. Go after another small thing, achieve it, keep it in the box. Go after something else, achieve it, keep it in the box. Our politicians need to hear this, because many times politicians, they think about big things that they'll do. They keep thinking 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, tenure ends, nothing achieved. You were thinking about one big thing. But it's like the lion that achieved one thing here, one thing in Liverpool, one thing in Manchester, something else, in Aberdeen. You just keep achieving. And in 4 years, you would have achieved a lot, like the lion. So politicians can learn from the lion, just like any one of us. So one of their essences in my book is to get people to see that leadership is not complicated. It's simple. We are surrounded by leadership clues. If you look at the whale jumping out of the ocean, it's a leadership clue, and it's there in my book. If you look at your fingers, leadership clues. If you look at lions hunting, leadership clues. The lion knows he does not have to hunt all the time. It knows he does not have to go after the strongest animal when it needs his food. It knows that he doesn't have to fight every day of the year because it's the strongest. Mm-hmm. It knows and understands the power of his strength. So leadership is about understanding times and seasons, and it's also about understanding the fact that there will be no leader if there are no people. You see, many people fail in leadership because they think too much of themselves. But leadership is about people. For instance, if there was nobody to lead, who would you lead? Will you be a leader if there are no people? If you are alone on this beautiful planet, who would you lead? The lions won't let you lead them. They'll eat you up. So you need people. You're a leader because there are people. Understand it. And understand that if you serve the people, it makes you greater. Because many people in leadership think rather that leadership is about people serving me. I'm the leader. I'm the strong one. We talked about Nelson Mandela as we began the show. Nelson Mandela, why do people in Africa and all over the world love him? Because he wanted people to love him, because he said, everybody must love me. I'm Nelson Mandela. People love him because he saved them. That is the power of leadership. Leadership is about serving people. The more you serve people, the more they appreciate you. The more people appreciate you, the greater you become. And what people need to realize is that in serving people, you also achieve your own targets. I will give an illustration and then I will allow you to shoot me some questions.
I love it. I actually do have a question. Yes, I have here a question from Avin and Bat. The question is, well, first of all, greetings. We have greetings here. So hello. Thank you very much for joining us.
Hello.
The question is, are leaders born or made?
Beautiful question. My answer would be like a coin. A coin has two faces, and the two faces are not the same. So I would say, yes, leaders are born. And I would say, yes, leaders are made. You see, the first segment, the first section in my book is titled Finding Yourself. One of the reasons why people are not able to maximize themselves in leadership is because they do not know who they really are. Yes. When people discover, just like me and Olga, I know I'm born to speak. Olga knows she's born to host. So we love what we're doing. If you do not discover yourself early, then you'll go through an identity crisis. So leaders are born. When leaders are born and they discover their potential early in life, that's the birthplace of leadership. But there are people who may go through life either because of circumstances imposed by the environment or by the people they grew up around and among. They may not discover that they are born to lead. You see, the reason why people think that leaders are not born is because they think that leadership is for a few. And they also erroneously think that leadership is about leading in a big space. Some of the strongest leaders in our world were people who led just a few single parents all over the world. Strong mothers leading their children and rearing them up and showing them what it means to lead. Some of those children became governors, presidents of nations. And like I said, in our wonderful school curriculums, they were never taught anything about leadership in high school or primary school or secondary school or university. They learned leadership from their mothers. So that mother is a strong leader in a home, rearing her children. So leaders are born, yes, but leaders can also be made. So if people are already in the teens or in the 20s or even in the 30s and in their 40s, and they have not come to the understanding that they were born to lead, they can start. It's never to start. It's never too late, rather, to start. You can start anytime.
I love your answer. And I must say that my observation in life comes from observing children. Because I grew up in a family of four. I was the oldest. And also, as I was observing other large families, I realized that there are some children who will be never leaders because they got used to follow. And they are not as brave, as confident and as other children. But also don't believe that children are born shy. Children are not born shy. Parents are making them feel shy. Their siblings make them feel shy. Everybody else is knocking down their confidence. And leader is not somebody who is not confident. Leader is somebody who leads by example very often, leads by being confident, somebody who actually can speak and people will listen to that person, somebody who is not only wise, but also has, some probably experience, and doesn't have to be the entire life experience, but in some field or industry. And it's quite interesting how what you said, they are born, but they're also made. And I completely agree with you. Completely agree with, like, even yesterday I had a situation, came across this child who was so confident. He was, I think, around about 8, and I met him through a situation, and he just looked at me. He says, "And who is that?" Right? And he has this certainty in his voice, and he wants to know everything, and he asks question after question, and I'm like, whoa, I wish this boy will never, never lose his confidence, because he came straight to it was a car window, came to the car window and asking questions without any hesitation, without any shyness, straight, blunt, and forward. And I was just like, whoa. And I need to make sure, he will remain that way, because that will take him far. And I think this is what it is about leadership. It is about the confidence, but confidence very often get knocked off by adults. So I love what you said, that yes, you are born and you have potential to be leader, but then what happens around you, to you, with you, it shapes you, molds you into or not. That's really powerful, really powerful. But then I got the point that you got tired of the situation which is happening in the world in terms of leadership. But I wonder, Sunny, is there something what you actually discovered or learned about leadership in the process of writing that book? Like very often people say, you teach what you need to learn, or you write a book on something what you want to learn about yourself. So is there something what you learned as a result of you writing this book?
Yes, I learned a lot. As a matter of fact, I have discovered that one of the fastest ways to increase in knowledge, if you are blessed with writing, is to write. Because as you write, you learn. Because you are writing from inspiration. The book was not somewhere existing. You pick it up, you start copying from it. That's not writing. So writing, as you write, you are actually amazed by what you're wondering. Are they coming from me, or am I copying from the book unconsciously? Because you see things that you wouldn't have thought about just an hour ago, you're writing them down. Things you never thought about in years, you're writing them down. So as I wrote the book, there are many things that I learned. But one of the things I actually learned, I've already shared, I learned that we are surrounded by leadership clues. When I set out to write, turning every leader into a star. I didn't think I was going to have pictures in the book. I didn't think so. As I wrote, the inspiration flowed, and I was amazed to discover that there's so many leadership clues in our bodies as human beings. By looking at nature, by looking at animals in the sea, or the shark and the whale. So I thought, wow, I've got to add pictures. I thought about adding a few pictures. Then I realized every chapter can have its own picture. So the pictures actually were a learning point for me as I wrote the book. So I discovered that personally, I learned it, that we are surrounded by leadership clues and that we can learn. And then another thing I learned is that the world, and me inclusive, because I didn't think about it before I started writing. You know, I said I did my bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering. I did my project management program at the University of Liverpool. I thought it was the best school in the world. I enjoy project management because I'm a project expert. So I was in project management. I was working in projects. And I said, I love this field so much. I think I like a degree in it. So that's how I went to the University of Liverpool. So I discovered that as I wrote the book, that there were issues that I had not thought about leadership and education. So I began to wonder. I went back in my mind, University of Liverpool, I went, all of the models. I tried remembering all of them by name, none about leadership. And I remember organizational behavior, and people management. Under that model, we studied leadership. And I went back in my mind to my first degree, mechanical engineering, 5 years in school, no single course on leadership. I went back in my mind to my secondary school days or high school days. Same thing. I asked my boys are teenagers, preparing to go to the university. I asked my first two boys are teenagers. So I said, are you studying anything on leadership? Is there a teacher on leadership? No. Do you have any subject called leadership? No. Do you have any a course where there are 3 or 4 or 5 major topics and one is leadership? No. I contacted a friend in America. Do you know teachers? She said, yes, I know teachers, Sonny. I said, contact some teachers for me. Are they teaching children in America leadership in high schools or elementary schools? And the teacher sent a message and she said, I've been teaching for such a long time. I have never taught leadership to the children. Neither have I seen any of my colleagues doing it. So I did research in the developed country, United America, and I did research in my country, Nigeria. So Nigeria represents the developing world, America represents the developed world. Leadership is not being taught. So I didn't realize that it was such a big problem, because if you ask people, what is the biggest problem in our world? They say leadership. I talk with people who work in hospitals, and some of them will say, Dr. Peter John is a remarkable surgeon, but he knows nothing about leadership. I talk with people who work in project sites, and they will say, Supervisor A, he is such a brilliant guy. He can build this plant all by himself, but he's not a good leader. Why? So I concluded that one of the solutions is education, because education is powerful. So one of the things I'm calling for in my book is for designers of curriculums all over the world to realize, like me, because before I wrote, I didn't think about that. Now I'm coming to realize that children need to be taught education. Why? They are the fastest learners. I've got a little baby at home. Her name is Genesis. This is my beautiful little girl. She observes things better than I do, 7 times better.
Wow.
She learns very quickly. Anything you teach her, she remembers. And there are things that you think you haven't taught her, she's learned already. So these children are intelligent. We have to teach them. Teach them about team building. Teach them about making choices in life. Teach them about decisions. Teach them about helping others achieve their goals. When we teach children leadership, we prepare the next generation for leadership. So when they get into leadership positions, whether they are executives, whether they are politicians, they do not find it so clumsy to lead, because in elementary school, they learn a little thing about leadership. In high school or secondary school, they learn about leadership. So now when they're in leadership positions, they can draw from what they have learned. And the beautiful thing about teaching, about education, is that when you teach, you only teach about 10 or 20% of what they should know. But because you have initiated the thoughts, they begin to think. They expand on what you teach them. And they become teachers to themselves and to their peers. So those are two things that I learned about writing the book. I set out to write a book on leadership. I didn't know we're surrounded by so many leadership clues. Neither did I realize that there is a big hole in our curriculums all over the world because we were not, and sadly are not, teaching children about leadership.
Yes, and I agree with you there. I think if we will pay more attention to educating our children, the youngest generation, these who actually will be looking after us, after our generation and many other generations. And if we right now don't raise them as true leaders, as somebody who is mindful of others, somebody who has great values, somebody who is impactful in a good way and knows how to differentiate, good and bad impact, and also good and bad company, and having ambitions and everything else, then we will have a great life, because we are not here forever. Current leaders, they are not here forever. And if we don't take care of the new generation, unfortunately, it'll be ourselves who will suffer from that. That's it.
That's so true.
Because
That's
right
so true.
now, we take care of the previous generation. And right now, the healthcare is or is not in place in countries, depends which country it is. It is a result of the previous generations, what they were doing before, how much importance they put in place, and how much what priorities were like for them. So it is important to actually make sure that we take care of the young generation. And you are 100% right. If we don't take care of teaching them leadership skills, unfortunately, we're not going to have true leaders in the future, and it's going to be a disaster. Right. But I'm so grateful, Sunny. You shared so much today, and I so share your views on leadership with you. We have so many examples around us, surrounding us every day. As you brought a beautiful, wonderful example there about a mother who is raising her child or children. She is a leader. Somebody who is at work supervising others, he or she, they are a leader. Everybody is having opportunity to play a role of a leader in some shape or form, but it is how do you play it? This what takes you to the higher or doesn't take to the higher role, and how can only be achieved with a lot of knowledge. I know your book is available on Amazon, on for UK and USA websites, right? Is it posted worldwide or just within UK and USA?
It's actually available in other parts of the world. We have sold copies in Australia. It's available in Brazil, Spain, Italy, Amazon. Once you go to Amazon website in your country, if Amazon has a website for your country, and Amazon presently has about, let's say, 15 websites per country. So you have a Canadian, we have sold books. The book has been sold in Canada. We have Canadian Amazon, you have UK Amazon, America Amazon. So all over the world, people are able to buy the ebook or the paperback. So I usually recommend people buy the ebook because the paperback is a lot higher, the price higher than I would have fixed it, because when you publish with Amazon, they give you a minimum price that you can fix because of the content in terms of pictures. There are 26 colored pictures in my book that I used to illustrate leadership. So because of the colored pictures, Amazon fixed the price high. So it's a lot higher than that's about the price available in the UK, for instance, is about 50% that I would have fixed as my price to sell to people in the United Kingdom. So people who want to buy the paper may get discouraged about the price. So you can get the ebook, but there are people who like ebooks. They are paperback people. So you can buy the paperback, but it will be worth it because you have colored pictures. You can open the page, you see a colored picture, you see my illustrations, my tags on the pictures, and on the other part, of the book, you see a commentary about the picture. How it shows you that you are surrounded by leadership clothes. So whichever you choose to get, whichever is your preference, it's fine. But in the UK and all over the world, people are able to place order. You buy the ebook, download instantly to your device, or you buy the paperback. Amazon ships to you within a short time, a day, 2 days, 5 days, as the case may be.
Well, but I've got good news there. I've got good news because I did check out those links as well. And I must say that right now there's a discount of, I think, 70 something percent. So right now you
Wow.
can get this book actually, I think for, oh, was it £8 or £9? It is really
Wow.
affordable. I mean, this
That's
is
wonderful.
a hefty discount. So everybody who
That's good.
would like to become a true leader, who wants to learn more and to get so much value from Sunny, please go ahead. I will definitely make sure I'll post links below this video on YouTube and
Okay.
also on other social media platforms because it is really a remarkable book. And as you heard already, Sunny, he researched this subject quite a lot, and you know quite a lot about this as well. And what can be wonderful that to learn more, and I always add something else here, to earn more, because the more you learn, the more you can earn. Simple as that.
True. True.
Yeah.
That's true.
Thank you so
I
much,
agree.
Sonia. I really enjoyed having you today here. You have such a
Okay.
wisdom, and I'm so impressed how much you know. And I'm not surprised you get rebooked straight away after you finish your talk because, of course, you are. I mean, you talk so much wisdom. That is amazing. Do you have any plans to come to UK at any nearest point?
Yes, I was actually hoping, I was making some contacts, hoping that I would get some invitations to speak at corporate events in the UK just before coronavirus locked us down. So I am hoping that as things open up through your wonderful show, which is watched globally, and then a lot of people in the UK watch it, that they will say, wow, this son guy can speak. We need him at our next event. So I'm hoping that some organizations will invite me once things open up. I'm flying and it's available as usual. I'll be in the UK to speak, and it will be a wonderful pleasure to be there to speak.
That is wonderful. Well, in that case, we will await news from you when you're
Yeah.
coming to the UK so we can spread the word around the world, and people actually can come and see you speak. But until then,
Yeah.
Sani, please let us know how people get in touch with you. But I will also make sure I will share the links of your contact details
Okay.
below. But please let us know what is the best way to find out more about you.
Okay. One of the best ways would be LinkedIn, because it's my professional page. You know, you go to LinkedIn, you can follow my daily post and my name as it appears on Olga's screen. That's the same name on my LinkedIn. So you search for Sonny E. Isuekebhor on LinkedIn, and wow, I appear there. So that's one of the easiest ways to get through to me. And then you can send me an email, booksunny booksunny10@gmail.com. You want whether you want to book me to speak at an event, or you want to contract me as a leadership advisor to an executive or to a government official, booksunny@gmail.com, and that email comes directly to me and I can respond to you. Yeah.
Wonderful. That sounds really good to me. And thank you so much for sharing these contact details with us as well. As I said, I will definitely make sure I'll list them below so people can actually click on the link and contact with you straight away. Well, what can I say? Thank you so much for coming onto the show all the way from Nigeria. I mean, imagine that would be out of lockdown. You probably will have to travel to UK, or I would have to travel to
Yeah.
you. And now because of lockdown, we can do it in no time. This is remarkable.
Yeah. It's
I love that.
truly remarkable.
And and what time is it there now? Actually, I forgot to ask you, what time of the day is it there now?
Okay, it's actually same with your time. You know, usually we are GMT plus one, so usually 1 hour difference between us and the UK. But there are times in the world, you know, the global clock, there's a little adjustment, and then our time matches with your time. So presently, our time here in Nigeria is exactly the same as in the UK. But as the months move, then we have an hour difference. So when you're at 4 p.m., we are at 5 p.m., you're at 12 p.m., we're at 1 p.m. But for now, as it has been for I think the last 2 months, we're on the same time with the UK.
That's fascinating. I mean, we can be on two opposite sides of the world and we still have the same time. That's very unusual
Yeah,
because I spoke to so many different people and it's almost like, oh, it's 8 p.m. here, it's 8 a.m. here. For me, it's the same time every day, 1 p.m., but everybody's having different times.
yeah.
Oh, wow. But that's amazing. Well, once more, Sunny, thank you so very much joining the show, coming on board, sharing your
My
wisdom,
pleasure.
also sharing your book with us. I really appreciate that. And everybody who was watching us and still with us, thank you so very much for being with us and giving us your precious, precious time. And if I can ask one thing from everybody who was watching us, please apply something what you have learned today. Because I always say, you earn more only when you learn more. So thank you so
That's
much,
true.
everybody. Yeah,
All right.
and
Thank
thank you.
you. Bye bye, Olga. It's been a pleasure.
Bye.
Thank you so